All right, here we are. I think we're live, but we're not getting a... Oh, there we go. Fantastic. We're getting a screen capture. Even better. Thanks to everybody who comes, although I don't expect anybody to be here today. That's totally cool. Totally cool. What I'm trying to do right now is just make sure that this stream is working. You will notice that what I'm using right now is it's so dumb, but I'm using Zoom on my camera. I'm just having some really strange technical issues. It's Streamlabs and maybe a problem with my graphics card. It is sharing the screen now, but it was giving me fits before. So what I'm actually going to do is, because I know Zoom works, is it may cause some latency and lag, but I'm actually going to do a screen share in Zoom. This is pretty ironic, right? I'm going to do a screen share in Zoom, and that will, well, at least I know it'll work. And we'll get a nice little screen capture right there, and I'll be able to watch everything. So, welcome to this live stream. It's I guess the third, technically really the second live stream for Why Ukraine. I have decided I'm going to try to do a live stream every day between now and the day that I join the International Legion. Boy, I hope the sound is working. I didn't even test it. For me, I do work all day. I teach English here in Ukraine, mainly to businesses. And so, it's pretty early in the morning, and it's a full schedule all day. I just finished my last lesson, so this is going to be an adjustment for me, working this late. We'll see. We'll see how things go. I really wanted to do 2 live streams a day, and I feel like if I did that, I won't have time to eat or cook or anything. So, the first thing I'd like to talk about today, which is a question that I often see that Americans ask and Europeans ask, although nobody's had the balls to ask it to me directly, so I'll pretend like you did. But it's something that I see in the media a lot, and the question is, when will Ukraine make peace? Or when will Zelensky make peace with Russia? And I just want to make sure that you understand that Zelensky can't make peace with Russia. He doesn't have the authority to make peace with Russia. Ukraine is a democracy. Not a perfect democracy, but I will argue a better one than the United States right now. If Zelensky tried, if he even hinted at the possibility of thinking about it, he would be out of office in about 10 minutes. There would be a mob at his house and every other possible place that he might be, a massive mob of Ukrainians saying, "Get the hell out." And every single Ukrainian I talk to feels exactly that way. And I talk to a lot of them every day. So it's not a question. I just want to... I brought up this website. This is a Ukrainian newspaper. It's one of many that I will be sharing with you in the future, and we're going to go... I want to show you the viewpoint of Ukrainians, what their free media is talking about, and what things are important to them. And I just want you to look down in the lower right hand, it's kind of in the lower center of your screen where it says LB Live. These are some videos I think they're on YouTube. I'm not going to show them to you because they're in Ukrainian. I just want you to look at the title of this right here. Maria Berlinska on the demilitarization of Russia. That's this is the video on the front page. Okay? They're talking about the demilitarization of Russia. They're not talking about giving up or giving in or giving away Crimea or any of that. No way. Okay? They're talking about all the way to Moscow. Look at this next one here. Sternenko about the destruction of Moscow, the deportation of Russians from the Crimea. Okay? Like, that's what they're talking about. And just to let you know, that's what I'm going to be talking about here. This war is not going to end, not until Russia is defeated, not just that, until Russia is gone. Until the Russian Federation no longer exists. There will be a little state called Muscovy, which will be Moscow and then maybe St. Petersburg, although I think St. Petersburg would rather be another country too. And they won't have nuclear weapons, and they will they won't be a regional power or much less a world power. So, yeah. Oh, Aaron. Hi, Aaron. Thanks for coming. Greetings from California. Wow. You know, I'm from California. What part of California are you in, Aaron? I'm curious. Wait, you're not my brother, Aaron, are you? He's not in California anymore. All right. I won't dox you. I promise. I'm the one who has to worry about getting doxed, right? Okay. So I just want to show you this. You know, there's been polls. These are ongoing polls, okay, of you. This is from the Atlantic Council here. Yeah. So, God, Southern California. So Orange County, MAGA land. Yeah. You know, when I try to explain to Ukrainians, oh, wow, Eskil. Oh, my God, I have people joining this. Yeah, I bet it is, Aaron. Frustrating. Yeah. When I try to explain to Ukrainians, I just had this conversation today. When they think about California, they think of like the most liberal place, you know, the transgender, LGBT, rainbow flags everywhere. And I'm like, no, I grew up in Sacramento. Okay, I fought not neo-Nazi skinheads. There was even in 2016, there was 6 stabbings by neo-Nazi skinheads on the steps of the California State Capitol, and the police arrested the people who were stabbed. Yeah, I do, Aaron, I do. Some great stories, for sure. It's incredibly frustrating. But, yeah, so, Ukrainians, man, 84% are ready for a long war. They're in it to win it. They are, nobody's talking, look, nobody's talking about, look at this, here's another poll. This is from May, May of this year, but it's pretty much the same. So here it says, the light blue line, that's the top line, confidence in victory. So since March of 2022, confidence in the victory of Ukraine among Ukrainians has been in the 90s, and it's pretty much been steady, 92, 93, 97, 95, okay? And then the second line, the one that's steadily going down, that's readiness to compromise, okay? 14% of Ukrainians are willing to compromise. Okay? Zelensky can't do it. Even if he wanted to, which he doesn't. And then the purple line at the bottom is support for territorial concessions. That means giving up Crimea or Zaporizhia or Donbass or something like that. And that's down there in the 10%. I've heard maybe like one Ukrainian in all the hundreds and thousands that I've talked to has said something like, yeah, just let them have Crimea or something like that. Yeah, Eskil, I agree. I think it's good that Europe is taking the step up. So in some ways, I hate to say it, in some ways it's a silver lining that that the U.S. is a cluster flock, as it were, sometimes. Although I do believe that my country is going to step back up again. Oh, thank you, Aaron. To be honest, I have no military experience, which is why I had to. I applied to the Legion 10 times, and on the 10th time they finally accepted me. I thought I was going to have to. I mean, I literally, one time I actually went there to their office in Western Ukraine with all of my bags and stood there and argued with them for about 2 hours trying to get them to let me in. But anyway, now as soon as my arm is repaired, I will go back. I mean, honestly, if you were really seriously thinking about, yeah, because I'm in the country. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's why I applied 10 times. If you were serious about, if anybody watching this is serious about joining the International Legion, first of all, don't have high expectations. Second of all, the very best thing that you could possibly do would be to get some first aid training in your home country. It doesn't have to be military training, but preferably. But March Protocol, TCCC, that stuff. But a real basic weekend EMT course. In my training, it's the first thing they just drill into you. Absolutely, I've had, I think, close to 10 TCCC March Protocol, like 2-hour hands-on trainings where we put tourniquets on each other and put tourniquets on ourselves and stick tubes down each other's noses, which is awful. It's freaking awful. I haven't had it done to myself. I've managed to avoid it because I just don't want that. Oh, God. And I will gladly do 10 more. It's probably the most valuable skill as a newbie that you can have here. Maybe gun training slightly after that, and then, everything else it's even the military training that that NATO is giving to Ukrainians. There's been a lot of complaints about it because it's not relevant to the war that they're fighting here. So that's the big thing is first aid. So let's talk about what's happening in Ukraine. I'm boots on the ground, literally here. Just walking around. What do I see? And I'm right in the center of Ukraine, and so I don't talk to people. I don't have any special knowledge, but I just want to just say that something is happening. I mean, I can't be any more specific than that because I'm not sleeping with any generals that I know of. They're getting ready for something, and I've been thinking about. I mean, I've seen kind of just. I can't be specific about the activity that I've seen, just with my eyes open. Can't be specific about that, but it has that feeling, like when something's getting ready to happen. You just have that feeling. You see a lot more of certain things. You're like, that's interesting. We know, of course, that the summer offensive, or counteroffensive, rather failed, quote unquote. And I have my own opinions about that. For various reasons, lack of Western weapons being one of them, I didn't think that the counteroffensive was. I would have been surprised if it had been as successful as some were predicting, I should say. But, I don't want to dwell a lot on maps. There's other YouTubers out there who do deep state map, and they go all over everything, and I'm not going to do that. There are other people who do that better. But we know about, or you should know about, that Ukraine has crossed the river down here between Kherson and Novokhovka. And Deep State is not really showing exactly where those battles are taking place, but it's right along the river here. Okay, it's right along the river, kind of in this area, and they're trying to get a foothold right here, because this is, you have the Surovikin line, all the massive defenses that were put across here by the Russians, mines and all of that. But this side, where the river is, the Russians didn't do quite as many fortifications. And we could go and look at some of the lines. They are there, but they're not as much. Now, remember, the Kakhovka Dam was blown up, and this whole, what was a lake, is now a much thinner, not so wide river. So, I should have brought this up before, but let's just take a look at Kakhovka. Come on, Kakhovka, the reservoir, right? Kakhovka Reservoir, Kakhovka Lake, Kakhovka Reservoir now. Yeah. How about images? Yeah, now we're starting to see some of these images here, right? And these are actually from the summer. Look at the changes in the lake here. It was a pretty shallow lake, actually. So as soon as it drained, it looked like this. Now it's much drier. Okay, much drier. It's had some time. So you can see here. Oh, hi, Anna. So I'll just tell you this. If I were a betting man, I would, and I'm not, and I don't have any special knowledge, but if I were a betting man, I would be looking at this stretch of the river here that is, again, relatively undefended compared to the Surovikin line over here. And we know that Ukraine has crossed the river here. Why couldn't they cross the river in some of these other places? Now, in Enerhodar, that's where the big nuclear power plant is. That's this guy. That's what you're looking at there. They had an emergency shutdown this week where they had to bring on generators. Just ridiculous. Scary. But in Enerhodar there, that is very well defended. Yeah, there you go. That's exactly right, Aaron. They keep saying the ground will be harder this winter, so more armor movement is possible. That's what I'm talking about. And when they talk about that, they're talking about this area right here, because this, what is now a dry lake bed, okay, soft sand and mud, has been soft sand and mud all summer long since the big blow up. And it's had a chance to dry out, and I have a feeling that as soon as the freeze comes, this ground is going to get a lot harder, and it's going to be a lot easier. Now, look at this distance, though. I mean, the distance that they have to cover, that they're going to have to race across with their tanks or their BMPs or Bradleys or whatever, is, a long way. It's a long way with no cover. I'm hoping, I don't have any truly updated current pictures. I'm hoping that maybe there's been a bunch of vegetation that grew up across this lake, but I doubt it. It's going to suck to cross, but I think if somewhere along here they just might try. They just might try. In some area that's relatively undefended, they send in some HIMARS, take out a post or two. Yeah, snowmobiles, yeah. Yeah, as soon as there's a hard freeze, that's what I would do, The real concern here, and let's just flip that and think about what the Russians are thinking about. The Russians, everybody's talking about, oh, this is undefended. This area, it's very lightly defended, and even I just said that. Okay, but what are the Russians thinking about? Crossing this river is going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult to get armor and supplies, especially supplies, shells across this river en masse in this area down here. Doesn't matter what the time of year it is, that's going to be hard. So it could be that Russia is waiting until enough Ukrainians cross this river that they get, not just a 3 battalions is what they're talking about potentially, but 3 brigades, maybe more. A big front here, a big fat bubble. Maybe the Russians pull back and make a nice, big half circle for the Ukrainians. And then they send in a shit ton of artillery and slam them. Okay, so this is a huge risk for Ukraine to be doing. And I'm talking about things that, in a few months I might be doing. So that's maybe why I'm thinking about it. If that is the Russian plan, then the counter to that would be to cross the river up here as well, so that they can come in behind the Russians, cut off some of these supply roads, and storm across this and head for Melitopol as fast as they can. That's my theory. Not really a theory, just a inkling of a suspicion. Yeah. So I feel free to comment what you think about that and make your own decisions. Obviously, nobody in either army is listening to me. I'm not giving away any freaking secrets here. Anybody can look at the map and know the terrain better than I do. So if anybody does know the terrain better than I do, feel free to talk about it. The other thing I want to announce is I had an amazing interview on Saturday with a veteran from the Foreign Legion. I haven't had time because I've been traveling and teaching. I haven't had time to edit it and put it up on YouTube, but I will be putting it up this week. It's like an hour-long interview. I might break it up into 2 or 3 separate interviews, separate videos. I mean, this is a guy who, I was training with him in the Legion. He left early because he didn't think, or they didn't seem like they were going to let him into the Legion. So he went and, excuse me, I'm pouring myself tea here. He went and joined another group. I can't remember which one. It might have been the 59th, which the 59th is known as, how do I say this? A lot of people die in the 59th. That's the rumor that goes around. They take people with very little training, and I can't confirm that this is true, by the way. But maybe it's something that happened in the past. But that they take people with very little training, give them a little bit of training, put a rifle in their hand and say, yeah, go. Go do it. Yeah, so people die, foreigners die. That's the rumor. But he lived. He watched his friends die, Ukrainian friends. I don't want to give away too much, but I will say that, how do I say this? The Russians are using chemical warfare. Drone-based chemical warfare. We have crossed that line. Yeah. A snowmobile would be cool. That's cool. It certainly would be. They're already using Can-Am jet skis like crazy. So I know Can-Am has Oh, really, Aaron? Brandon Mitchell mentioned it. Okay, I'm not the only one talking about it then. Okay. No, Can-Am, which makes jet skis and some other things, has already donated, I think, a bunch of, like they had a store in Kyiv, and so I think a lot of Can-Am jet skis became water-based drones. I think there was a lot of Can-Am jet skis that basically took out half the Russian Navy. So, yeah, a snowmobile would be awesome. A lot of them, just as fast as you can across there, and yeah. Anyway, so look out for that video. He is now back. The veteran, the Legion veteran I'm talking about. He is now back in America, and he's waiting on his back pay. He had to go back home for some family stuff, and he wants to come back and fight in the Legion. But he can't afford the plane ticket because he hasn't been paid his back pay from the Legion yet. He's basically going to take the money that he made from the Legion and spend it on a plane ticket to come back, which is crazy because he has a wife and 2 or 3 children. Anyway, the point is, I'm going to on my channel here in YouTube, and probably on my Shopify store that you see here. If you don't know about this, I have a video up about it. This is where you can go and buy supplies that we need specifically in the Legion, that I confirmed with my commander in the Legion. These are the top things that we need. I'm going to be adding more stuff to this pretty soon, but it's very rudimentary. I apologize. I'm going to put on here like basically a fundraiser, like a GoFundMe for Tony, this Legionnaire, to buy him a plane ticket back, because that's what he wants. And I promised him I would. So that's going to be coming up this week as well. I want to point out something else. So this Shopify thing is very new. I think it's an awesome idea. I hope now that I know that it works, I've already had people make purchases on here. So now that I know that it works, I'm hoping that other YouTube channels might be able to do something similar. Maybe they could automate like a drop shipping stuff to Ukraine, although you have to be careful what you can have shipped into the country. Everything on my site right here, these are things that are available within Ukraine. And I'm not specifying brands because there's lots of manufacturers of these items, and some of them may only be able to make 5 or 1. They may not be able to do the volume. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that since it's getting to be the holidays and we're coming up on Black Friday, if you have someone who you don't know what to get them, but they support Ukraine, or you think they should support Ukraine, feel free to buy a Legion of Angels gift card. So this is a gift card that will literally be mailed to your home, or the home of whoever you want to gift it to, and you can increase the amount. Oh God, did I really put $10,000? Okay, I guess you can increase the amount all the way up to $99,999. Or you can go all the way down to $10. That was the minimum. They'll have a physical card shipped to their door. It'll look just like this. I support Ukraine with a Slava Ukraini on there, and they'll be able to use it to choose whatever items they want on this Shopify store, or donate towards those items. And like, for instance, you'll see it says $1 towards, it says from $1. Well, tourniquets don't cost $1, but you can donate $1 towards a tourniquet. And these are, buying one is $50. So that includes shipping. They cost $41. So after Shopify fees and shipping and handling, it's $50 for a tourniquet. But you can donate $1, and if 49 other people will donate $1, then hey, that's some guy who saved his life and got to hopefully keep his leg or something like that. So, kind of, I guess that's, I don't know how much more I want to do of my live stream today, because this was really kind of a test. I want to thank, my God, everybody who joined, Max, Eskel, Aaron, Anna. My God, this is totally awesome. I'm going to be doing this again tomorrow night at the same time. I'm sorry that this is in the morning for most people, not the most convenient time of day in America, but I mean, I just can't stay up till midnight, when I'm working all day. But tomorrow, we are going to look at, unless something really big and crazy happens, tomorrow we're going to spend some time looking at Ukrainian media and look at some of the news articles and the things that are happening in Ukraine that don't filter out to you. If you're watching CNN or MSNBC or, God forbid, Fox News, we're going to look at things like Interfax Ukraine, Ukrinform, the Kiev Independent. We're going to take a look at all of these, and also LBUA, and maybe a couple more. By the way, let's see, Anna, if you're Ukrainian, feel free to recommend some online newspapers. Yeah, Ukrainians are on Twitter. Oh, okay, yeah, Aaron, that's good. That's good. I'm not a Twitter person. I do have a Twitter handle. I don't even have a link to it anywhere on my, but it on my channel. But I should put it on there. But it does. I have it. All the everything I do here on YouTube gets posted to my Twitter. So I will share a link. Following up. Yeah, I just can't really get into it. Yeah, not always great. Yeah, well, it's the thing. Like, I don't read Ukrainian well enough to follow on like Telegram, for example. But I'm joined with a lot of Ukrainian Telegram groups, and yeah, there's rumors flying all over the place on Ukrainian Telegram about, like, for example, talking about Zelensky. Every time he does like the slightest little thing, yeah, it's a total rumor mill. Exactly. Every time he does the slightest little thing, they'll be like, he's gonna sell us out to the Russians. He was planning it the whole time. It's really funny. But the Kiev Independent, I do recommend. If you're if you're an American or a native English speaker, is what they call us here. It sounds funny because I come from like Native American Indian territory, and you don't call people natives in America unless they're Native Americans. Anyway, but we're going to focus on some of these stories. The Kiev Independent is good for if you are a native English speaker. That's who it's geared towards, Oh, wow, look at this one. Is this the Ukrainian teenager illegally taken from Mariupol? Yeah. Oh, wow. Is this the one who they were trying? Oh, I hope this is the kid. He was like 17. Yeah, this is the kid who was like 17, and they took him from Mariupol, kidnapped him, thousands. Russia is bragging that they've kidnapped more than 700,000 Ukrainian children. They're bragging about it, It's crazy. But it looks like he made it back. Oh, that's fantastic. I guess enough public, this is one thing I really want to focus on is getting the children. It is, Aaron, it's pure evil. Getting the children back the Ukrainian children back. It's incredible. It's like a beyond comic book villain activity, and it's not just Putin. There's a lot of Russians involved in this, and it reveals a lot of problems, a lot of evil in their society. And of course, they don't think it's evil. Maybe in their heart of hearts, maybe. But anyway, I want to talk about some of these goings on that you might have missed, rather than just this is what happened on the battlefield today. Obviously, I'm going to be finding out about that soon enough. The last thing I want to talk about is I just want to give you an update on my own health. My strength. All right, I don't have Popeye arms yet, but my strength is returning. Obviously, I carried my own luggage on and off the train. I only felt the slightest little twinge here in this wrist. I was careful because there's the human body is so freaking weird, and I'm not a physiotherapist. If any of you are, or one, tell them to message me, because I don't know what the hell's going on. Just weird things that I do, like I was trying to carry a shopping bag today on the way home with my arm hanging down, and I just tried doing a little exercise on my arm like this, and I didn't feel pain. I just felt like my arm was going to fall, or my wrist was going to fall off, or my hand, rather, at the wrist. You just have that feeling like everything's falling apart. It's a very strange feeling. To have your wrist pop and physically separate, it's a very strange feeling. But it's improving every day. I just have to be careful and go slow. To be honest, my goal is to be able to go back by January. That's my goal. So, thank you everyone who came. And I'm sorry I'm not spending more time, but I am going to go work out right now and do some kettlebells and some reverse rows, and I need to rig up a thing where I can I have a bunch of straps, like elastic straps, so I can start doing assisted pull-ups. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Thanks everybody. And have a great night. Talk to you guys tomorrow. And thanks for coming. You guys are all freaking awesome. Thanks so much. Do побачення, as we say here in Ukrainian. It means see you later. Thanks, Aaron. Oh, thanks, Max. Cool. Yeah, I don't like to kill people with 2-hour live streams. That's lame. Yeah. All right. See you guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.